we heard how much diversity was part, despite this world of phases or waves of integration, disintegration, as we said, was part of all the periods of this region. So how you would define diversity in your terms? And can you please give more details about how you work on this, how you try to build diversity, which is not granted, especially in now where the Mediterranean is depicted as a fracture between two irreconcilable worlds. How you work on promoting the diversity as a positive value in your communities.
Thank you very much, Gianluca. Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here. And thank you also for showcasing Ta'adudiya, our platform that was created after we had started our other educational also work to continue the work that we are doing also on the educational level and on other levels. So since our foundation in 2006, Adyan, it's an organization in Lebanon that has been founded by Christian and Muslim founding members. We had the aim of promoting diversity. And of course, we started with education. We started with educational programs in Lebanon that were built up to reach, all through Lebanon, but also other Arab countries. The idea for us is to allow people or students, whether be they young or old, to recognize that they are not one definition, that one definition does not represent them or define them. So we start with simple exercises. An exercise like asking people to define themselves or describe themselves in 5 things, so that they would understand that if we take one of those things, they would feel that we're taking part of their identity, and that their identity is not only made of one thing, but of many things. And also, for example, in the game between people, we ask somebody, strike down 2 definitions of the identity of a classmate of yours. And then this is the reaction that they get. They understand how important those components of their identity are, and how they are diverse. So, for example, if they are a Muslim Sunni, they are not like the other Muslim Sunni sitting next to them, because they have their own mix of who they are, where they come from, what they believe in, but also their own experience, their values. So this is how we allow each person to recognize the importance of their own singularity and the diversity in whatever group they are in. Building on that, we can start building for diversity in the public sphere. The problem that we tried to answer when we founded Adyan was that we realized that because we came from a war context, and where a war context where people were killed depending on what religion and what sect they come from. So it's understandable that after that, people would say, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about our culture or our religious belonging, or if our belief. We don't want to talk about that. But for us, we realized that this would, saying that let's keep our belonging aside, and in a country like Lebanon, it's mainly religious and sectarian diversity. Well, if we put it aside, we keep it at home, and we don't learn how to talk about it, the problems continue, because we continue having a dual narrative, a narrative in the public sphere where we're saying, oh, we are all brothers and sisters and we love each other and there's no difference between us. And another discourse that we have at home, where we are saying, beware of those they killed us in 1860 and they killed us again in 1982, beware of them. Or, it's that sort of discourse that we have, where we mix also with the what happened historically and politically, but also with the generalizations and stereotypes we have of the other. It's because they are like this, it's because they are evil that they do this to us. So we generalize a whole. So for us, when we created Adyan, and when we started our educational programs, it was important also, after allowing people to understand their singularity, how they are not uh, uh, equal to anybody else in their own sect or region or culture, that each one is singular and each one has diverse belongings too, that they also, we need to learn together to bring to the public sphere this diversity and not hide it in our homes, because there, when we don't bring it to the public sphere, it could explode in our face in the end if we don't know how to treat it. So how to manage this diversity in the public sphere, how to open up questions related to this diversity. This is what we try to teach on for younger and for older, but also this is what, for example, the platform Ta'adudiya serves us for, not only for Lebanon, of course, because with a reach of 80 million, it's a reach for Arab countries. It was created for Arab speaking, to be able to promote diversity through, for example, the authors that write on Ta'adudiya. So they are women and men from different countries, different regions, but also from the different religious and non-religious belongings of this whole region. So we try to give a voice to people who not necessarily, some people do have a voice, but also others who don't necessarily have a voice in mainstream channels, and but also to topics that don't have a voice in mainstream channels, because people deal with these topics as if they're walking on eggs. They are afraid of talking about issues related to diversity, whether cultural, gender, religious, or other, so as not to create problems. So we try to do that through articles, but also, if we're not talking to the rationality of people, through short films, stories that talk also to emotions of people, to get them also to open up to different layers of diversity. I would like to say one of the criteria for us that we are getting somewhere with Ta'adudiya is that on this platform, we don't reach only the people who think like us. We don't reach people who only believe in diversity. We reach people who actually curse us sometimes, or who could write horrible stuff sometimes, because it shook them, because what is being written here or what is being in a film, shown in a film, shook them. So, and this allows them to come back again, to come and discuss and what is there. And this allows us basically to, bit by bit, get people more used to different layers of diversity, or for example, even see women speaking about religion, or hear a Yazidi, or it's in those small things that for certain culture is we take it for granted, but for the larger culture needs to keep on to get people more used to it.